Yeah, I want to thank Adib for what you have said so far. It's fascinating. I'm holding your Quran right now. This is the Quran that you have translated, and it's fascinating because there's almost as many notes in here as there is the Quran. And I think the reason is very simple. And you say right in the very beginning, you want to have a Quran that is reformed, that fits the environment today, that is a book of peace, that has commonality between men and women, that has equality between men and women. So you have an agenda when you write this Quran. You say it in the introduction. And I think that's what we're hearing all night tonight. You do have an agenda. You are bending over backwards to find the word, this book here, that fits a 21st century environment, that fits your environment there in Arizona. And I would suggest that what you're doing, and this is one reason why so many Muslims are upset with you, and why they don't accept this book, and why it's not a #1 bestseller, and why it's not doing very well at all in the Muslim market, is because it does not follow true translation processes. You have words like Surah 4, Ayah 34, which is very clear to beat your wife, and that you have found about 18 different references or different explanations for the word daraba. And you choose one of them that fits the environment that you have in Arizona. And so instead of saying beat, which all the translations say, you put, I think you put the word, you must put her away. Fascinating that you use that translation, you use that word, put her aside, rather than beat, whereas everybody else uses beat. And I would suggest what you're doing is that you're trying to sanitize the Quran to bring it into a conformity with the 21st century environment, but not just any 21st century environment. It's very clear you don't like what ISIS is doing. You don't like what the radicals are doing. So you're creating an environment that you like, and that's the environment you find in Arizona. And I would suggest that what you're finding in Arizona is based on a Judeo-Christian model. You like living here. You enjoy the fact that we have equality. You enjoy the fact that we have peace. But where do you think that equality came from? Where do you think that peace came from? It did not come from this book. It came from this book. It's very clear that the peace you're looking at is coming straight out of the gospel of Jesus Christ. The equality you're looking for is not in this book, because in this book, Surah 2, Ayah 282, is very clear that a woman gets half the authority in court. It's Surah 4, Ayah 11, a woman gets half the inheritance of a male. In Surah 4, Ayah 34, a woman can be beaten if the husband doesn't like what she's doing. In Surah 2, Ayah 223, it's very clear there that the woman is nothing more than a tilt for her husband, and a man can go into his tilt at any time. Surah 2, Ayah 230, it's very clear that a man can divorce his wife. This is not egalitarian because a woman cannot do the same thing simply by saying talaq 3 times. You've already stipulated in the Quran, for a woman to divorce her husband, she has to find reconciliation. Now, what's interesting in Surah 2, Ayah 230, when a man divorces his wife and decides he wants her back again, he has to have her marry another man. That man has to then divorce her before the first man can have her back. That's egalitarian? I don't see that in the Bible. And I don't see that in the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that's why I love the fact that you're strenuously trying to take this Quran and make it like the Bible. You're taking what you already find in the Bible, the equality that is there, the fact that women and men do not have any difference. 1 Corinthians 7, the whole thing on marriage. Look at the marriage in 1 Corinthians 7, and you will see that a woman's body is equal to a man's body. There is no difference between man or woman, slave or Greek, Jew or Gentile, in Galatians 3:28. And the brilliant verse in Ephesians 5:25, where Christ looks at a man and a woman as the same as himself in the church. And as Christ was willing to love the church and die for the church, so a man should be willing to love his wife and die for his wife. What a beautiful comparison we have in the Bible compared to what we see in the Quran. Now, I encourage you, because you are on the right track. The difficulty is you cannot do that with a book that is written down. You cannot impose your own translation. You cannot impose your own meaning that has been the same for 1400 years. And the other thing is you cannot go to Muhammad to find what you're saying. As I said earlier, and I'd like you to come back on this. Where do you find Muhammad doing what you're saying? Where do you find Muhammad being peaceful? Especially to the Jews in Medina. I don't see it, and you still haven't answered me on that. What was he doing with the Banu Kainuka, the Banu Nadir, the Banu Qurayza family? Where is this example of this peace and egalitarian in Muhammad's own life? Certainly with his own wives. Did he allow women to have 4 husbands? No. And so for all these reasons, I would say you're doing a great job as trying to, because of the fact of your background, you do want the right thing. But if you want the right thing, why don't you come home? Why don't you come home to the real book, the bigger book, the better book, the Bible?